Hello, everybody. Figured I'd do that little classical folk metal since I boast so much folk metal on this channel. Yes, I am a major folk metal head, guys. Yet I always play like new metal riffs or something like that, but it's just heavy. So you got to play them heavy riffs to really showcase the really heavy stuff. However, in this instance, I'm just kind of playing around with an MXR pedal. It is supposedly the most versatile boost pedal out there. Though, in all honesty, when I look for a boost pedal, it's not exactly the tone controls that I'm looking for so much as the initial bite or, different types of clipping and circuitry and stuff like that. I can't tell you because I'm not an electrician. I am not a professional on this by any means. I just love playing my instrument. This sounds amazing, but I can't tell you what kind of clipping it's doing or what kind of stuff is going on here, other than I can break this down. Think of this pedal as kind of like your typical TS9, except the TS9 will not have this knob here. It'll only have these three, okay? So, all in all, you got your volume control. And then you have your tone knob. Now, your tone knob is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the 10-band EQ. And then you have your gain control. So think of those as all the knobs. Now, your tone knob has been divided up into 10 separate faders, which is really cool and is very precise in dialing in your tone. But it is still essentially the same 3 knob setup that you would get in a boost. Now, I would mostly consider this a clean boost, except for the gain, and the gain's so cool. We'll get to the gain. But mostly people will use this as a clean boost indefinitely, like most pedals. But this you can really get dangerous with, and I'm just going to show you boosting the front of your amp, which is mostly your guitar. Okay, I use this thing mainly to kind of change the pickup tone of what's coming out of the guitar. Now, will this replace pickups? I don't think so, but it does a good job. It's not to say that it does a bad job by any means. I really enjoy this pedal, and if you don't have one of these pedals, I actually highly recommend it because using this in the effects loop is really crazy. Like I said, we'll get into that later whenever I hook my amp up, and I'll show you all that. But for now, just boosting the front of your amplifier, I mean, just check out the difference here. So you can really go crazy with it. Now, there is such thing as adding too much, and let me show you what I mean. Like, honestly, so you see what I'm saying there? Like, that you can get very wild with this pedal, which is a good thing. That sounds like crap, in my opinion, but it's the fact that you could shape your guitar tone that much going into the front of your amp. When people say pickups don't matter, you know what I mean? Now tell me, to all you Tonewood people out there, just making a straight dig at you guys, that that Tonewood matters, especially when you have a freaking EQ pedal right here. Like, yeah. Oh, can you hear the Kokoboa, whatever? Then let me show you the different characteristics of Kokoboa here. Yeah, all those different characteristics of the wood tones there, you know what I mean? Yeah, I do still find it funny when people think wood actually matters in electric guitar. Not to say it doesn't matter in an acoustic, but for the love of God, like, can we get past that? Like, now, anyway, I do like to just do a simple mid boost for metal. I roll off the highs and the lows right here because they really don't matter. and any kind of real noise that can get taken out is always a plus, like, in general. My 8K, I have it, like, literally, usually it's 0, sometimes negative, I don't know. It doesn't matter a whole lot, so it's a little harsh with 8K all the way up, but it's not super noticeable, in my opinion, so we'll do 4K at 0. I do like my 2K to be up just slightly above 0 there, barely, in between the 6 and the 0. My 2K goes right just barely up above it. My 1K goes all the way up. Well, no, it goes in between the 12 and the 6, that's right. My 500 here goes down below. 250 down below that, and I just kind of stack a pyramid here. I do want my 62 in between the 6 and the 0 there. This will be at 0, the 125. The 250 is there at 0 as well. And then the 500 is up between the 0 and the 6. And you hear that slight growl you just get? It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it is there. I mean, listen to that growl. You hear that? That's what I'm talking about. Now, my volume is right there at 6 plus. We could boost that all the way up, though, right? And you get a little bit more of a growly sound to it, so listen to that. I like to use this as a really dirty pedal. A lot of people like to clean boost. I like dirty boosting. Okay, I just like it because it gives you that. Oh, I keep playing. I keep playing like I'm in drop. That's probably why it sounds crap. It just reminds me of like an HM2, and it really can remind you of HM2. Watch when I turn this gain up. This is cool. Turn that noise gate up a little here. There we go. Now, I'm not going to pretend that that's like a super crazy awesome tone right there, but I do love the grit that you can set up. Now, to make it a crazy awesome tone with just those two, I do think this needs to be balanced a little bit. We need to start off there, because that's not typically how I play it. I don't play with the gain and volume all the way up. But if we do want to get a good, cleaner tone out of it, we start here, and then we got to play with it to make it a little better. So I am getting harsh mids with the gain being up like that. And definitely a lot of low end, so I'm going to back these down. Ah, there it is. Not getting a lot of 4K through. Is that like going to be up here? I getting that sound? Oh, it is my 1K just acting up with that. Wow. Oh, there we go, there we go. Wow, so that's what it takes right there. Okay. Very, very interesting there. I can't believe I actually had to adjust it like that. So I've never really played with that grit that much to dial it in like that before, so that was a first time kind of thing, and that sounds really good to me. Just that whole like... So that's my normal tone. It's like a controlled HM2, in my opinion. Like an actual tame HM2, which is, you know, not something you can really tame very well. So you could get, you can just get such very, very, very cool tones out of these items. I'm sorry, I cannot keep these pedals straight for anything. Now, if you notice the camera looks a little discolored all around my mat here and stuff, it's because these LEDs are so insanely bright. I have this down so much lower than you could ever imagine. I mean, look at my face and look at the color of my hand. Do you see how it's just blue? It's because what you're seeing, I am filtering this out as hard as I can, and it's still so insanely bright. I can barely see the numbers up here. I am using my camera to read the 62, 125, 250, and 500 and all that. I'm using my camera to be able to see it because I cannot see them from where I'm at. I think that was a very bad design by MXR there because they used to have their original one. It was black and had red lights. And it worked just fine. The lights were great and everything. I saw the blue and I was like, that's kind of cool. I'd take some blue. Their blue lights are way too bright. That may be cool for some people. But if it's too bright for me, my studio room is lit up so bright right now. I have 3 lights plus a more of a orange light over there to kind of bring some color into the room. So I have 4 lights going effectively right now that are stupid bright. And the fact that I can't see my pedals still because those lights are so bright, why would you ever want to put this on your pedal board in a dark venue? Honestly, you're not going to be adjusting your settings when you set it up. You're going to have it the way it is, and you're going to be turning it off and on. I would absolutely hate to have that on a pedal board next to my other pedals where I would not be able to see if my pedals are on or off very easily. Unless they had lights that were just as bright. I don't understand why they did that. Surely that's a complaint. I've never looked up if people complained about this or not. But all in all, it's really cool to see the blue lights with the silver, with the brushed metal housing here. But I just don't at all see a need for them to be that insanely bright. And yes, I am actually using their recommended power supply. I'm not using the daisy chain. So it's not like I'm pushing anything crazy. So I don't know. That's my only complaint about the pedal. Everything else about it. Oh, no, there's one more complaint. Okay. When I turn the pedal off. Why do these two have to stay on? Are you serious? Like, that drives me nuts too. Come on. When I want to turn a pedal off. When I turn it off, I want to turn it off. I don't want to have it on. These 2 lights are still really bright. I don't want to have to stare at them. Like, I understand it's telling me that I have power, but you know how else I could find out if I have power? Watch this. Ah, I have power. So I know I have power. So when I turn it off, you know, I mean, I get the idea, but there were better ways. Maybe at least they could have faded these lights down to very, very, very dim. But it's just too bright. I don't know. I just have a complaint about that. For the tone of the pedal and for its usage and everything else, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's just, I got to be nitpicky here because they hurt my eyes. I just don't like staring at it. You know what I mean? So, all in all, that's my thoughts on this pedal. What did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, you know. Tell me what I could have done or what I should have done. And, yeah, I will get this in an effects loop on a real tube amplifier here later on. And I will show you guys all that cool stuff. I just feel like, you know, this video doesn't need to be 30 minutes long. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.